Welcome in to the Ryan Ripken Show. I'm not Ryan Ripken. I am Kevin Ostreicher. And we are here a post-game live stream on a Friday night. Might honestly get this one going into Saturday morning as we're about 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. The Orioles pick up a 3-1 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. Sixth inning proving to be the entire difference, literally, in this game for the Orioles, as seemed like an offensive slog for most of it, which it was. Baltimore left a lot of guys on base. They got a lot of guys on base, 11 total hits. But they get the job done. Bullpen holds it down. Albert Suarez is able to go 5 innings of 1-run ball. And that's all it took. That is all it took for this team to win the game. Now, I was at the game. So was Zach Bollinger, who should be joining us at some point. I see like 3 different Zach Bollingers on my thing right now. He's waving to me, and we'll bring him in here because I think he has something to say. There he is. Look at that. If you saw our post game, a lot of people are saying, Zach, we matched our outfits on purpose, but not really. I mean, look, I got the retro. You see, look, hold on, wait, sorry, wrong one. See the bird right here? That bird patch right there?
No, bird's looking incredible.
Yeah.
No,
so,
Kevin, you look fantastic tonight.
Thank you. So do you. We had fun at the center field bar. Tim Barbalet stopped by. We had a lot of people come up to us, which was awesome. It was a fun night at the yard, Zach, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one of those great nights where the atmosphere, just from the start, it was a packed yard. Obviously, like you said, bats took a little bit to finally get some runs across, but overall, man, in that 9th inning, just 2 outs, the let's go O's. It was one of those feelings that it almost felt like an October baseball game, like division rival, Friday night, packed yard. It was just an awesome way to get a win, and just the environment was incredible to be a part of.
Yeah. Well, I do say that after every Orioles win, I bring a prop on the show. So in honor, I was sitting in the splash zone. So I have a little Mr. Splash of my own here who killed it again, by the way. But in honor of the 3 Orioles runs they scored tonight, I will do 3 splashes because of course, just to represent. So this is probably an awful idea. I have like things that should not get wet in this room, but we do anything for content, don't we? So, all right. This one is for Austin Hayes.
Yo, did it even spray?
It didn't even do it. Hold on. Wait.
Test it.
There it is. All right. All right. Austin Hayes. Shouldn't get the mic wet. This one is for Jorge Mateo.
Well,
and the last one is for Jorge Mateo. That was my prop. That was my prop intro of the show. Let's get into it, Zach, though. I think let's start with Albert Suarez, and then we'll get into the offense. Didn't look like the most promising start. Okay. Goodbye, Zach. All right, so Albert Suarez, let's start. Oh, where'd you go?
Okay, so I'm now finding out that when I pull up, I'm trying to look at the stats for the Orioles while also being on screen, but
it takes you off the camera when you
But no, it like you said, it wasn't looking like the most promising start for Albert Suarez, especially off the rip. They got some guys on base, and it was one of those where it just felt like every inning the Rays had an opportunity. And then it just felt like no matter how bad it got, no matter how many men they got on base, Albert Suarez found a way to get out of a jam. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what Albert Suarez has been for the Orioles. It's whether it's been out of the bullpen or starting the game, he's been a reliable guy that in a situation he's found ways. They've brought him in extra innings when they have the ghost runner on second. And he just seems like a guy that when the pressure's on, it doesn't affect him, and he just simply gets out of the situation.
Yeah, and you will take 5-inning 1-run ball all day. I mean, I know it wasn't the prettiest start. He ended up giving a couple of hits. You mentioned the opportunities, but how about that first inning when Colton Cowser, spectacular leaping catch out there, and that it's kind of like a tone setter. The Rays literally first pitch of the game, single. and you're like, okay, this is how we're gonna start this thing. And then you get a looping Cowser catch, which again, I had just gotten to the stadium at that point, and you could hear the moves. I was literally just walking in and sitting in my seats as that happened. But not only did Suarez pitch well, you had Ciano Perez come in and pitch a scoreless inning. Yaniro struggled a bit with command, had 2 walks in his 2/3, but
No,
then
Kevin.
What was that? Yeah.
I think you're forgetting the Orioles bullpen's bad.
Well, this was a pretty good outing, I would say. Yeah.
No, but I was just told by everyone that the Orioles bullpen was bad. How are they having these?
Oh, outings? Is that? Yeah. I guess, yeah, we have to say they're not good, huh? I guess that's what, yeah. Or
listen, we've talked about all year. It's about consistency, and we've said it multiple times. I'm gonna let the cars go by. We've said it multiple times. The most frustrating part about the Orioles bullpen is we see how good they can be. We see those days where you're like, this bullpen is unhittable. They'll go give you 4 or 5 runless innings. But then you have the blow-ups. And the blow-ups are really what are harming the bullpen right now. But it feels like 3 out of 5 days, the bullpen is giving you these types of 4, 5-run, no-run innings, or 5 innings of no runs. And that's really what I feel like we aren't fully appreciating, because we always focus on when the bullpen blows it, because the Orioles haven't been great in 1-run games this year. But it's nights like tonight that I feel like go underappreciated because the bullpen saved this game.
Yeah. And, you talk about Cano struggle with command a little bit. Danny Coulomb comes in, 1 pitch, 1 out, gets him out of the inning. That's literally, it's what they needed.
How many times have we said that this year? Danny Coulomb comes in when someone can't get it right, and it feels like he comes in with 1, 2 outs, and it's 1 or 2 pitches and he gets out of the inning. It's just, whenever there's traffic on base, it feels like Danny Coulomb refuses to let him in.
Yeah, he has been one of I think out of the bullpen, he's been one of Baltimore's unsung heroes this year. But then let's talk about, I think we should give a little Craig Kimbrell a round of applause, because yeah, good job, Zach.
How am I supposed to clap right now, Kevin?
I don't know, hold the phone in your mouth or something, or do something crazy. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Oh, wow. All right. Well, that's
talent, baby.
That's a clip. I'll tell you what that is. But well, all right. Back to Craig Kimbrell. I saw a comment from, here we go. Vaughn saying Kimbrell last 8 outings, no runs, no hits, no walks. The only batter to reach was a hit batter. That is impressive. Those stats, that is something. I mean, someone that admittedly struggled it's about a month ago. So 3 weeks, a month ago, he was struggling, and the Orioles found a way to get him involved. As I've kind of preached this, right? Get him in the 7th, lowest leverage, but then you get him in the 11th inning. That's a decently high leverage situation. Now he's back to his role. And to me, Craig Kimbrell, the Orioles are their best when Craig Kimbrell is on. When they have the flame-throwing, in control of the command, Craig Kimbrell. And to me, it makes a lot of sense for the Orioles. We've talked about the potential to add a bullpen arm at some point over the course of the next couple of months, but you want to have as many guys as you can. As we talk about, they're going to exhaust every single in-house option they can before going out there and adding somebody else. Not that they were going to, DFA Kimbrell or anything like that. I still think that'd be a big overreaction. But when Kimbrell is on, we know that he had to step up for Felix Bautista this season. He's not going to replace Felix Bautista. There's not a 1-for-1 there. But when he's on, and he's been doing a great job recently.
Yeah, and let's hold up, letting the cars pass real quick. All right. 9th inning starts off the 9th, 3-0 count. And I'm not going to lie, like you said, Kevin, we were both at the game. There was kind of that feeling, that eerie feeling in the stadium of like, oh boy, is this the Craig Kimbrell we're about to see? Like, is this we walk 3 guys, suddenly another pitcher has to come in and try to clean it up, try to get us out of it, and then strikeout, give him credit, another incredible web gem, underappreciated web gem by Gunnar, and then the last pop-up to end the game. But it started with those 3 pitches. It not really competitive, obviously, from the stands. We couldn't necessarily tell. But it felt like for a second that we were about to see the Craig Kimbrell that blows saves. The Craig Kimbrell that suddenly it's a tie game and we have to go win it. And what's most promising for me is he started that way, but he didn't end that way. And that's what's most impressive is in adversity, 3-0 count. Okay, all of a sudden you walk this guy, the time runs up. All of a sudden there's pressure on you. He didn't let that get to him. He went out there, continued to just do his job, struck out the first guy. And after that, it felt like a weight was lifted, honestly, off of all the fans' shoulders. It was like, okay, Craig Kimbrell's back. Like he had his little hiccup right there, but now he's back.
Yeah, you know what? It's something we talk about with Corbin Burns a lot too, in terms of just not letting things that go wrong get to you, essentially, right? That's what it is. And tonight we saw that out of Craig Kimbrell, and they needed it. I mean, this was a game that never really felt safe until it was over, and you're like, okay, nothing else can happen now. The Orioles win the game. And huge shout out to the pitching staff, everybody included there. I'm scrolling through the comments here, and Aiden, there is, and I think Joe is bringing this up. I had a viral screenshot of me in the splash zone where I was, and it looked like I was not excited. They literally caught me at like the one moment I was plotting my next move, Zach, and I did a little post game thing, and I was plotting my move, and it looks like I'm not excited. It was exciting over there, Aiden. So Aiden's saying that I'm famous. So thank you. Casey is a fan of you standing in the street, Zach. So props to you for standing in the street. And Joe, no relish shots. I thought the spray bottle was pretty good. I always do random stuff, Alex. Thank you. And Casey again. I'm not putting the spray bottle in the microwave, so it cannot disappear on me. I will not lose the spray bottle. Let's talk about the offensive.
Well, real fast. We're talking about the bullpen. How big, we talked about yesterday, the one guy I refused to let beat us was Randy Arozarena. We talked about how well Randy Arozarena hits against the Orioles, and it didn't matter how horrible, honestly, of a season he's having. He's in the bottom 5 of qualified hitters. But he comes up, pinch hit, 8th inning as the tying run, and the second he was announced, kind of like the 9th inning when it was 3-0, you kind of felt the stadium like, don't do this. Don't do this. And I'll go out on a limb and say that was the game sealer. Because as soon as they got a Arozarena pop up, I misspoke. A Arozarena popped up. Kimbrell struck out the last guy. A Arozarena, as soon as he popped up, you felt this weight off of everyone's shoulders. And it was like, he's not going to be the one to beat us. And because we've seen over the last 2 years, Randy Arozarena, when it comes to the Orioles, it felt like every game he was hitting a meaningful home run. And it felt like, honestly, when he got up in that situation, you were like, don't let this be it. Like, don't let this be the one. And for us to get out of it with the pop-up, I think it was Jacob Webb, right? Jacob Webb got brought in. That was I will go out right now and say that was the biggest out of the night.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it just felt like even though the Rays had opportunities, the Orioles, whether it was Suarez or whether it was the bullpen, got big outs when it counted. Now, speaking of pinch hitting, Zach, how about Austin Hayes stepping up for Cedric Mullins in that spot? And when the Orioles needed a run, Austin Hayes gave them a run.
No, Kevin, I thought Austin Hayes was really bad because he hasn't
I'm breaking character. Sorry. Yes, my fault.
No, Austin Hayes, another example of him and Jorge. Well, I'll clump them both together.
Yeah.
It's 2 guys that we talk about, all the rookies on this team, all the young guys, the exciting guys. Those are 2 guys that are just veterans that you need on the team. And we talked to Mike Elias. Mike Elias talked about the veterans that you see on the team and how important they are. And that's exactly what these guys have become. And in those situations, they prove their value because Austin Hayes going out 2 outs, tying the game. And then you give Jorge Mateo, who I'll say it. I'll be the one to say it. Fingers crossed, because I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about Jorge. We saw last year, April Jorge turned into May, the downfall. We saw May Jorge today. Tomorrow, June 1st, if Jorge continues his streak, it'll be a little weight off my shoulders. But he finishes May with the go-ahead 2 RBI double, and it just felt like both of those at-bats were as pro at-bats as you get. They were fouling off pitches. They were getting in counts that you didn't feel great about. Jorge Mateo batting with 2 strikes. You're sitting there and you're like, here he goes. He's going to swing at a ball in the other strike zone or in the other batter's box, a slider in the other batter's box. But he doesn't let it get to him, the pressure get to him. He goes out, has a quality at bat, and ends up winning the game for us.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I mean, 2-strike hitting all across the board in that inning, not to mention the 2 outs as well. I mean, for what the Orioles had in that game, it's about capitalizing on momentum. And I think the Orioles did that. The Orioles capitalized on momentum. It was in the 6th. It was that 6th inning where it could have been 1-1 on the Austin Hayes hit. And then, you know what? 2 outs, 2 strikes for Jorge, and it doesn't work out. But Baltimore was able to capitalize on the momentum. And that, to me, and I see Alex bringing it up right here, they did not need a home run tonight.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, Zach's celebrating in the street. Look at that.
It's what the streets wanted. It's what the city of Baltimore wanted. Like that, Kevin, how much have we been just preaching? We want to see this team win without relying on the home run ball. And what's crazy is over the past week, it feels like 4 or 5 of their wins have not been relying on the home run. They haven't been hitting the home run to win these games. And while some people will say, you want the home run ball, the 1 run, you're always in scoring position. It's fun, but when you can manufacture runs, when you can hit with 2 outs like they did tonight with Austin Hayes and Jorge Mateo in the big moments, that's just as valuable, if not more valuable, than the home runs in the big moment.
Right. And essentially, it's like you don't want your offense to be one-dimensional. And we know when the Orioles offense is on, they're not. But we've seen at times they've relied a little too much on the home run ball this year. But it's not realistic that they're going to hit a home run in every game. It's what you can do when you get guys on. And I guess kind of going into 1 up, 1 down here quickly, one thing you like, one thing you didn't. The Orioles did leave some guys on base tonight, right? Definitely some. We'll put it nicely. Some.
I was going to say, you're taking mine down as well, but yeah, this is going to be mine. So you go for it.
You take it first and I'll piggyback off you.
Well, I was just going to say 11 guys left on base. Like we talk about manufacturing runs and they didn't rely on the home run ball. They didn't necessarily manufacture the most amount of runs they could. A lot of guys left on base. So for them to still win without hitting a home run and not necessarily manufacturing runs, you look at it, we talked about before, huge shout out to Albert Suarez and huge shout out to that bullpen because they're counted out in a lot of situations, but they gave us 4 shutout innings. Albert Suarez 5 1-run innings. It was the perfect storm of the offense got just enough. They had just the right amount of moments in them, and then the pitching staff did the rest. So that I will say, I'll give 60% of this win to the pitching staff. Absolutely loved what they did all night, just fighting and battling at every moment.
Yeah, I agree, and I see. Rolling with Rock saying Adley just missed a homer. He did right on the warning track. That was the end of the 6th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 2 guys on could have been a 3-run shot if I'm remembering correctly. So just missed that one, but they did enough, and that, to your point, Zach, is credit to the pitching staff. Now, in terms of what I did like, I mean, yes, the pitching staff. I kind of will go off of what you said there. I liked how Albert Suarez battled. Right? As we talked about, the Rays had opportunities. Albert Suarez gave them some opportunities, but he shut the door when it mattered. And like we've been saying all season with this pitching staff, they've been consistent for most of the season. It's been, 5 or 6 innings, 1, 2, 3, even some 4-run ball. You will take that with this Orioles offense. Now, the offense hasn't been as consistent this year, but we know when they are on, they are on. And they have the talent to be a multi-dimensional offense. So for me, I loved how Albert Suarez battled throughout this entire game, and a really good spot because Bradish goes tomorrow, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So a big opportunity for the Orioles to take the series from Tampa, and that would be what, 19-0-5, Zach, against the released opponents?
14-0-5.
14. Okay.
14.
14-0-5.
But I'm telling you, tomorrow's going to be a fun day. Taj Bradley versus Kyle Bradish. Two types of Brads. Not exactly Brad, but Taj Bradley and Kyle Bradish. It's going to be a pitching matchup. And tomorrow's one of those days where the Orioles have to capitalize on kind of getting to Taj Bradley early, because if he gets in rhythm, you're going to find yourself striking out a lot. He's a big strikeout pitcher. But like you said, incredible way to set yourself up winning today. Now you just need one of the next two to continue that. Ryan says it all the time. Win series, don't get swept. And you're going to find yourself in a really good situation come the end.
Yep. Win the series tomorrow. Try to sweep on Sunday. That's ideal. Bradish and Bradley, and maybe we'll get the Ryan Ripken show Brad in on that Brad matchup too.
Oh,
maybe Brad the umpire, right? Couldn't be any worse than what I think the umpiring's been this year. So
that's for sure.
Yeah, maybe a bit of an upgrade. But let's move away from the game for a second, Zach. I've seen some comments about it already. Let's talk about John Means and Tyler Wells really quickly. Yeah. So we got word from Mike Elias today that both John Means and Tyler Wells are going to miss the remainder of the season. Two big blows to the Orioles pitching staff. And we talked about how much depth they have. Now, losing two of your pitchers, especially this early in the season, is not ideal. Certainly can change conversations about maybe going out there. I know that Elias also talked about Cade Povich a little bit in his answers. It's been on the tip of their tongue for a lot of people who have been discussing him recently. So initial reaction, Zach, to the news of Means and Wells, and how big of a loss are both those guys? How big of losses is this for the Orioles at this point in the year?
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It sucks. It's massive losses. And if you think it's not a massive loss, then, is this season changing? No. But these are massive losses in the fact that John Means, every time, has he been healthy? No. But when he's on the mound, he has done nothing but give you incredible outings from the second he's the past 3 years. And then you go to Tyler Wells. A lot of people thought maybe even in a bullpen role. I know I was pushing, thinking he could be an 8th, 9th inning guy. So, yeah, both of these guys, you lose them for the year. It sucks. It's no way to sugarcoat it. It sucks, but this is where, like you said, you talk about the Orioles' depth, the Albert Suarez, the Cade Povich, the Cole Irvin. All of them have the ability to come in here and not replace them necessarily in 100% of their production long term. You hope so, because they've shown the ability to. But yeah, I'm looking forward to honestly potentially seeing Cade Povich here in the next maybe month or so, because he's the biggest prospect that intrigues me right now. Obviously, there's so many big hitters down there, the Jackson Holidays, the Heston Kjersteds, the Enrique Bradfield Juniors, but Cade Povich, just that lefty with strikeout ability, kind of screams, okay, could this be the missing piece to replace the lefty in John Means?
Yeah, I mean, it's awful. You're losing two really quality pitchers. I mean, the Orioles have depth, and there are a couple of different branches we can branch out on this, Zach. Obviously, we'll talk a bit about Povich, talk a bit about Dean Kramer and his potential return here coming up too. But this essentially, when we talked about it before the season, we had said, well, look, you have your 5 in Burns, Bradish, Rodriguez, Means, and Kramer. You have guys who can step in Cole Irvin, Tyler Wells. We didn't even know about Albert Suarez before the season started. He's come in and been a revelation for him. So I think they have the depth to withstand it, but it's getting thin now. Where at first it was, you have all this depth. It's luxurious. You have everything. But now what was a 6-man rotation, Zach? We had that conversation, last week? About how this was a 6-man rotation. Now all of a sudden it's okay, well, now Kramer's on the IL. You lost 2 of these guys for the year. It's not that they don't have enough to make a 5-man rotation, but the depth situation has changed rather quickly, I'd say.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's funny, Brandon Hyde has still talked about 6-man rotation, even with knowing that these guys are probably done for the year and then officially done for the year. So it almost begs the question of, even if I truly believe we're getting Dean Kramer back in the window that they said that he's going to be back in the next week or so. So I'm not too worried about that. But even when Dean Kramer gets back, I'm not sure they move away from a 6-man rotation. That could be possibly a Cade Povich situation. But do will point out Cade Povich gives up 6 runs in 3 innings tonight in AAA. So not necessarily the confidence boost that you would love to see going into maybe getting called up. But I think he's shown enough in the minors that if they want to go with the 6-man rotation and keep Irvin or Suarez in the bullpen, I think they 100% give Cade Povich a shot.
Yeah, and so Eli's been asking about Kramer. I want to bring up one of his comments. Should Kramer return the rotation when he comes back or go to the bullpen? Suarez is looking good, as is Cole Irvin. I think Kramer gets back in the rotation. I don't think the bullpen
Without a doubt
for him. I mean, you can work the 6-man rotation. We've seen that both Suarez and Irvin can be effective out of the bullpen, but I don't know. Who would you put in the, if everybody's healthy, take out Kramer, or not Kramer, take out Wells and Means. What does that back end of the rotation look like, and who do you think goes to the bullpen?
Kramer's never going to the bullpen.
Yes,
and it's because Cole Irvin and Albert Suarez both have experience pitching out of the bullpen. They're comfortable pitching out of the bullpen, coming into high leverage situations and getting out of it. Dean Kramer has never pitched out of the bullpen in his major league career. It's not something that is easy for pitchers to just suddenly pick up. That's why it's so rare for guys like Cole Irvin and Albert Suarez to bounce back and forth and still see success. So I don't think they're going to mess with that and just suddenly send Kramer to the bullpen. I think it's still going to be between Suarez and Irvin, between who's bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. Kramer to me is a lock. Alex says that too. Kramer's a lock. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think to me the big question is just, I don't think it's if anymore. I think it's when does Cade Povich get called up? I think it's coming at some point, especially with this news. But it sucks, right? I mean, Means has worked back from a lot. Obviously, we know the injury situation. I've seen a lot of questions. Joe put it in here. I saw it a lot as well. I mean, what do you think the future is for John Means? Have we seen the last of John Means in an Oriole uniform, or do you think there is still a path for him to be a member of the club moving forward?
I hate to say it because I love John Means. I love everything he's done for this organization he was here through the bad days. And in a lot of ways, he was the only bright spot. It was the Orioles would win 1 of 5 games, and it was when John Means pitched. Like, that was what the Orioles had to work with. But it's very hard for me right now to look at the future, see the depth they have, the McDermotts, the Poviches, and say it makes sense to bring John Means back. Yeah, not Sean McDermott. I didn't know.
I was going to say Buffalo Bills head coach Sean McDermott.
Yeah, I was like, no, not McDermott. I was like, wrong
Chase.
McDermott.
There you go, but Chase McDermott.
Yeah, Chase McDermott. In my head, I was like, that was not right. That was right.
I could see the gears turn. You're like, wait, what did I just say?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I just said Sean McDermott. Yes, but Chase McDermott, Cade Povich, I think they're just so. Seth Johnson, man, people forget about Seth Johnson. Hold up.
They're coming for you. What'd you do? What did you do?
All right. God love Baltimore City. People forget about Seth Johnson coming off injury. He probably will be back next year in the major league kind of discussion. I doubt he does it this year. But there's just so much talent down there. I don't think it makes sense to pay John Means, especially coming off another injury. And it sucks. But looking at it, it's hard to say that there's a definite 100% chance he's back. And I just really don't see it.
Yeah, to me, I think the question is just how long do you want to block some of these guys? And look, when Means is on and healthy, he's really good. But it's just like it's been happening for so long. It breaks my heart for him. I mean, Means he's such a good guy and such a good pitcher when he's able to stay on the mound. But we're just starting. I mean, June is in 5 minutes, right? So we're about 2 or so months into the season. And that's a big stretch to not have two of these guys. Again, the Orioles have enough depth, I think, to sustain it. That's not the worry. But in terms of future, it just I don't know. I'm leaning more towards he probably won't be back, which just is awful. I mean,
Yeah.
I see Reds here saying losing means is going to be like the Mancini trade again. And
Yeah.
that's, again, like, a guy, as you mentioned, Zach, he was there through all the bad, all the ugly. He powered through that. And to imagine him not reaping the benefits of that long term, it's just, it's like, damn, like it sucks. But long term, you got to think about who you have in your system. I saw a question too about if I find it here, Adit here talking about, is a starting pitcher trade more of a possibility? JV, Luzardo, Fetty, Severino, Verlander if available. Zach's giving you the shake head of no. He's shaking his head no.
I just don't see it. I think with Povich, I think if there's another injury, yes, I think it's without doubt a possibility. But if they feel, if Grayson, if Bradish, if Burns, if Kramer, and then you also have a Povich, a Irvin, or a Suarez taking up that fifth spot, maybe two of the three take up a six-man rotation. I don't see that being more pressing than the bullpen. That, going out and getting a guy that can pitch in the eighth, that can pitch in the seventh, I mean, a lockdown guy. I don't see them saying, okay, we can go and spend prospects on a guy that's going to be our five, who probably won't pitch in the playoffs. Because if you're going in the playoffs with Bradish, Grayson, and Burns, those are your three guys that are starting every game in the playoffs. I mean, maybe here and there you might give Kramer a start, but I just think overall it's going to be those three that go in the playoffs, and you expect them to kind of get you there as well.
And look, there's really no silver lining in this situation, if we're being completely honest. But if you wanted to try to take, okay, how can we evaluate this in a way that is not just all negative? And trust me, it is negative. But it's the fact that you do have a couple of months to evaluate your rotation before the trade deadline happens. And they have enough down on the farm that I think that especially like we talked about with the bullpen, of like, they're going to try every single option they have in-house. And then if it gets crazy and there is another injury, or they're just, they're really struggling to find a guy, then okay, you can make a trade. But I think that they have enough. I mean, Burns, Bradish, Rodriguez, Irvin, Suarez, Povich. Like, I think that's already six, and that's enough. And if, guys go through slumps, guys go through struggles, but the rotation has been consistent all season for the most part. It's not like they've struggled with consistency issues. Suarez has been consistent. Irvin has been consistent. Rodriguez has been pretty consistent. Burns has been Corbin Burns. Not much else I have to say there. And then Kyle Bradish is looking like his old self again for the most part. So it would take a lot for the Orioles to consider a starting pitcher trade, in my opinion. I think it's much more realistic that when we're sitting here and talking a couple weeks before the trade deadline, I think everybody is still going to be talking about, yes, they should probably go out there and acquire a bullpen arm. But then, Zach, the question to that is, would you trade one of these MLB-ish ready starting pitchers like a McDermott or a Seth Johnson for win-now bullpen help?
I would give up Seth Johnson and Chase McDermott. I don't see the Orioles at this moment. It really depends on what the trade gets you back, but I think they're so high on Cade Povich. I even think they're super high on Seth Johnson. So it's really tough to think that they'd have to be getting a massive piece back. I'm talking a Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals. I don't necessarily know if he'd be involved. I don't think he'd have to be involved in a Tanner Scott trade, but it would take a massive piece back for them to, I think, consider giving up a Povich.
Let's just get the whole band back together. Tanner Scott, Clay McKenna,
Everyone back. The DFA squad. Get Jorge. Go get Jorge Lopez. Go get Tanner Scott.
Get everybody. Get everybody involved. So yeah, bullpen to me, I think if we're talking about a trade, and look, Zach, everybody loves talking about trades all the time. It's never a dead conversation. And I actually see that. I want to bring this up quickly before we move on, and we'll wrap this up in a few minutes here. But Tori's saying, Zach, you sound kind of sober. I'm impressed.
Tori, I am trying my best.
Zach, I wanted to go directly to the studio from Camden Yards because Zach and I were both there. And I said, all right, Zach, let's do a stream at the studio. And Zach's like, I might not even know my name tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna be so and then
Kevin
he's like,
Kevin texted me and goes, do you want to drive to the studio after the game? I said
tomorrow? I would drive you to the studio.
There was just no chance.
There was literally text proof of this happening.
Kevin, there is the second I stepped foot in Pickles was the second it ended that we were doing this thing.
Well, no, meaning that I didn't drink at the game. You obviously did. So I, the sober one, would drive you to the studio, and then I would drive you back.
Which, okay, hold up. We do not recommend peer pressure or condemn that. But Kevin, why didn't you drink at the game? Why didn't you not let loose? You know,
it wasn't in the cards, man. I don't know. No one. Look, first of all, alcohol at games is expensive.
Yeah, extremely. I will give you that. I'll give you that.
Expensive. I'm not trying to go broke on baseball alcohol. Now, if someone were to come up to me and say, hey, look, I'm not picky when it comes to alcohol. So, if someone were to come up to me and say, hey, you know what, I bought you this. You know what? Sure, I would have taken that. Now, obviously, I did not go to the game alone. So if that happened, I would still be okay because I just wouldn't drive home. But I'm not trying to spend $5,000 on baseball alcohol. So that to me, I'm getting, responsible cat dad, Alex, responsible cat dad for Banksy. So I have to set a good example for Banksy, especially because I'm not trying to lose my leg like Banksy lost his.
Very true. Very true.
Casey saying I'm a responsible businessman. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that. And
wait. Also, can we talk about this real quick? So we now all know, obviously, I had been drinking at the game and Kevin had not been. We're doing our post-game preview of the recap, and Kevin goes, Zach, why don't you lead it off? Knowing damn well the state I was in. And I'm just like, okay, Kevin, here we go.
You know what? When you are in a high-pressure situation, you have to deliver. These are trial. How do you perform under pressure? How do you perform under pressure? And I think you did well.
Yeah, no, I mixed up. I couldn't get the word pregame out or postgame for a second, but it happens. It happens.
Yeah. So I give you a lot of credit. And we have Aviator Dread. Well, I sound like the one that Aviator Dread.
No, dude.
With
the
$10.
Water in, Kevin.
You're gonna put the phone in your mouth again, and that is absolute nightmare fuel. Absolute nightmare fuel. Aviator Dread saying for the Banksy fund. All right, we're up to $25 on the Banksy fund on the Banksy leg fund. $25. So
on my phone it doesn't say donated. So
for those who are new to the show, I have a 3-legged cat. Okay. Yes, for those who are new to the show, I have a 3-legged cat. His name is Banksy. We're up to $25 on his prosthetic leg fund. I don't think he'd even wear a prosthetic leg, but it's
he can. I looked it up. They cost $2,500.
Wow. Well, $2,500 I will pocket. All right. So, no, I'm kidding.
Kevin's just gonna show up with some Gucci on.
Yeah, where'd you get that money from? Where'd you find that? But Aviator Dread saying for the Banksy Fund, great work on these after parties, fellas. Is someone we know keeps saying the O's are fine. Gotta bounce. Much love, Rip fam. Appreciate you, Aviator. Hope you have a good rest of your night. The Zach and Kevin Promise, I think, is the official. I think Joe put that out there. That's the official title of these post game live streams. And Casey, we've had him on stream a couple times. We've had Banksy on stream. He's not here right now. I think he's sleeping in his bed. But Banksy
you put Alex Baltimore's on the screen. I can't do it. This is incredible.
What? We need a drunk post game stream?
No, 3 legs in a dream.
Oh, yep, there it is. 3 legs in a dream. There we go. Look at that. Joe with $10 more for the Banksy Fund. I'm gonna look so good in Gucci.
I was about to say I'm gonna run down the street for Joe, but I'm not doing that.
Oh, come on. Anything for content. Come on, we gotta see it.
Should I do a 40-yard sprint just down?
Oh, yeah. No, set your phone down and do a 40-yard sprint. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the content. Oh, here we go. All right. If anybody has the timer, when he starts running, here, I'll try to do it. You can do it along with me. Oh, I'm too late. It froze out on us. We have to have him do it again. I'm gonna make him do it again.
I think I blew out my hamstring.
No, your phone lagged. You got to do it again.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Look.
Oh my god.
All right, part 2. Let's go. Here we go.
This is crazy.
Let's go. All right. Hopefully we get better phone luck this time. It wasn't bad though. I thought he did pretty well. All right. All right. If anybody has the timer, here we go. Stretching out. Boom. And the photo finish. Look at that. Thank you, Tori. It is devious. I try. Didn't freeze. There you go. I like the photo finish.
I'm out of breath so badly right now.
Well, you got to train for the in-person hot dog race because I don't think you can win doing that.
This is.
We have your nightmare fuel, and then we have you doing a 40 or whatever, however many yards.
I will say something. Tell you something that sobers you up is doing some sprints.
I think you've been. We have not seen like pure like out of.
I would not have been able to click the link on the stream if we saw real Puddle Zach. I'm telling you right now, he's not getting on stream. He's not going to know how to work the stream.
Nah. Yeah, I'm getting a little revenge. I don't know. I making him run twice. Yeah, Red saying a 26-yard dash you got out there. So
it was a full maybe 50 yards actually.
Yeah, Zach, do you want to explain yourself? Do you want to explain your story here on why you're just outside in the city right now?
Oh, I'm down in Fed Hill about to go out to the bars to celebrate the Orioles win, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I also have that streak going, so yeah.
Nice little aesthetic background going on of Baltimore. Yeah, look at that.
So while everyone else is in the bars drinking, I was like, you know what? Let's talk some Orioles baseball for the people, and now we're running in the middle of Fed Hill. So
this is the content you sign up for on the Ryan Ripken Show. So be sure to like and subscribe, by the way, if you're new to the channel. We do shows. Official shows for us are Mondays and Thursdays. We're in studio for those, but we also go live after every Orioles game, sometimes even in the middle of the street, like Zach is doing right now. So no matter where we are, we will go live for you after every single Orioles game, win or lose. So if they win, come celebrate with us. If they lose, you can vent with us and get your emotions out. Either way, we'll be here. And if you want to be a part of the channel memberships, I think that was some bonus content that was available for everybody. Those sprint, Zach. Yeah, if you want more bonus content like that, I posted my dog of choice when I was at the game for the members only. You can hit that join button next to subscribe, where you can get exclusive emotes. All of us have one, plus Ollie, who's Ryan's dog, and I think we're going to get a Banksy one as well. And yeah, you can also follow along with us in our Discord, where there are live Orioles game watch-alongs, and you can engage in the chat with us and with other listeners of the show. Zach, I hope you're paying attention. Watch your back, bud. I don't know who's about to come for you, but oh yeah, here we go. Watch your back. Watch your back. So
I will say though, like, because of people walking down the sidewalk, I have crossed the street about 7 times. If you haven't noticed.
Yeah,
I've
seen you looking out.
Yeah, I've been walking back and forth, like.
Yeah, although you might have Tori and Casey coming for you. So
if you guys can find me, honestly,
if you can find, like, I will find you.
I'm lost in Baltimore City at this point.
Oh well, that's
No, I'm not actually lost. I know where I am.
Jason, I didn't know what section you were in. Zach didn't tell me what section you were in.
Yeah. Honestly, Kevin, we all met.
I did not know there was a meetup. I was not told there was a meetup.
Crazy.
So
it's crazy. Jason, he actually told me he didn't want to see you.
Who? Jason said that?
No, you said that about Jason.
Oh, no, I did not say that. I would have
Okay,
seen
we're lying.
if I knew there was a meetup.
We're gonna lie on stream.
If I knew there was a meetup, I would have seen Jason. We're not going to lie on stream. I wanted to see Jason, but I did not know there was a meetup happening. Plus, I didn't know what section he was
in. Yeah.
Wow.
No, go with that story, Kevin. Go with that story.
You're going to try. You're going to lie about me lying. Is that how it's lieception? Zach is lying about me lying.
This is what you get. This is what you get on Zach and Kevin's prom. You know,
Jason, I would not do you as dirty as Rocco.
That okay? He does have a point there,
right?
I
was not told there was a meetup happening. I was in the splash zone. I had like five showers worth of water put on me in the splash zone. And so next time,
go check out Joe Radke. If you all know Joe at this point, go check out Joe's Twitter and see Kevin in the bird bath as the game ended.
I'll try to. I'm not good with pulling up.
I know you aren't, so I wasn't. I was about to ask you to do it, but I was like, I don't.
I'll try. It's very hard for me to do this.
Yes, Joe, you're getting ads in the live stream. You're welcome.
I'm really not sure how to do this, but I'm going to try. Present, share screen.
Now click on the
window. I guess this, right? Right here. Can you see?
Well, that. But then I was also going to Joe's.
So yeah, there's Casey's tweet about our post game. There's Ryan's tweet about our post game. Here's Joe's.
I did not. Our post game is on Twitter.
Yeah, put it out. Like I put it out. Yeah, people love the content. So yes, there's my face.
Click on it, Kevin. Jesus, Kevin, get your computer to move fast.
I need a new computer. I'm so sorry. It's not great. So they caught me in a moment of, all right, how am I gonna plan out my next move? So I said I'm excited. I'm just plotting the next move. That's all I was doing. So
Kevin's always plotting. People don't understand that about Kevin. He's always plotting. I love Alex Baltimore said the fact YouTube is giving y'all ads in a drunk stream is hilarious. I would say it's a half drunk stream. Oh, my beer is still on the front steps, though.
Oh, did you found your way back? Hello?
That was sparkling water.
What?
No, I've been across
the porch
the whole time.
Are you not on the right porch?
No, I've been on there, but I've been walking back and forth between these two sidewalks the whole time. I've been at the same place.
Yeah. Well, now that I did that, my computer is not cooperating. I do see Kyle in the chat. Kyle and I, so funny story about this, and I had told Zach, I was moving to get into my seats, and Kyle said, "What's up?" to me, and right before I didn't feel my wallet in my pocket, so I thought someone stole my
I'm going to tell you this right now. Kevin thought you robbed him of his
wallet. No, I did not think it was Kyle. This was happening before Kyle said hi. I thought someone stole my wallet. And so I was like, oh my God, where's my wallet? Like feeling, I don't know. I don't know why I couldn't feel the wallet. And so I was like trying to multitask. And then luckily Kyle came back and I was able, we just, exchanged. And I said, oh, I didn't catch your name. So shout out to you, Kyle. Great to see you. Again, bunch of people came up to us, both of us. Zach, I know you had a bunch of guys also who came up to you. So it's really incredible support that the show is getting and how we're building and growing this thing. Joe has wanted us to do a hog call for the past 25 minutes. I think Arkansas won today, right, Joe, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, wait, Joe. I need a final score before I do this hog call. Did Arkansas win?
Yes, and then we'll get out of here after this. I've been holding Zach hostage in this live stream for a while.
52 minutes has flown by.
Yeah, Zach was like, I'll do 30 minutes. Okay, we'll do whatever you want to do. So,
shit. Okay, they won 17-9.
17-9. All right. So, all right, you ready? We're gonna do it.
Yeah. Wait. Hold up. All right.
We can barely see you.
Okay. Wow, Kevin. Okay, I'll do one.
Okay, sure. All right, you ready?
Okay. Woo. Big
Suey. Ooh, pig suey. Ooh, pig suey. Go Razorbacks. All right.
It's
Well,
just Razorback.
yeah. All right. That was on me. That was on me.
We'll get
that
it
was
done
me.
by Super. Joe, we'll get it. We'll get Kevin right by Super Regionals. Don't worry.
We
Hogs
will.
all the way. Hogs all the way.
If they keep winning, I'll keep getting it right, or at least taking steps there. So, all right. I think that's all we have. Zach, any final thoughts on the game? 3-1.
Go win tomorrow. My favorite win is the next one.
Yep. Agree. Kyle
Bill
Bradish,
said,
Bradley,
like
the Battle
Bill
of Brads.
Belichick, Zach Bollinger.
Brad,
Michael Scott.
Didn't you call Brad Robert Kraft a couple months ago? Was that?
There was going to be one. I mean, if I'm Tom Brady and Ryan's Drew Bledsoe,
I'm Bill Belichick.
Without a doubt, Rocco's like
Kendrick Bourne.
No, he's like Kevin or I was going to Vince Wilfork.
Yeah,
it's there for vibes.
Yeah,
I'm not giving Vince Wilfork actually.
Wilfork was pretty good. Is Jason starting in rivalry with me now? Is Jason just going to start a rivalry with everyone on the show?
Jason has beef with everyone at the crew except for me and Ryan, if I'm being honest.
Wow. All right. Well,
I mean, you didn't see the man.
Because I didn't know there was a meetup. I didn't know there was a meetup going on. I thought
I'll help him do better, Jason.
Zach put the pictures, and I was like, oh, well, I wasn't invited. Zach could have texted. We're all meeting up. And what'd you say he was in? 22, section 22? I didn't know that. Didn't have the information. All right. We'll let Zach go. Have fun at the bar, Zach. Don't get too crazy. We've had a lot of well wishes for you. So have a night, as Ryan says. And for everybody tuning in, appreciate you again. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the YouTube channel. We also have this in audio form, by the way. Okay, well, I didn't know this, Jason. I didn't know. So now, look, information is power. I now have the information that you're in 22 every game. So now next time we're there, I will come see you in 22. Look at how that works. There we go.
Boom.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll see you right back here after tomorrow's game. We'll have another post-game live stream. Hopefully Baltimore takes the game, wins the series. Appreciate everybody. Peace.
Peace.